So before we get into the matrix, I've struggled a lot with differentiating, what risk versus quality actually looks like when it gets to your plan. And that's been a key component of building out this matrix. And so shout out to ChatGPT for clarifying this, because I didn't have no idea, but I was struggling to confidently determine the difference. And so when you look at it, it says risk is about how exposed you are if the trade goes wrong. It answers how likely is it that the setup fails based on structure and timing. And so how I think about that is a trade will initially be high risk, in my plan, depending on the depth of correction, if we're at 50%. And so that trade can either sell off, if this is a bearish structure, from that point at the high risk point, which can happen, or it can continue to correct, ultimately become lower risk, sell off from there, or then continue to correct and ultimately shift structure, and then it becomes invalid. And so positions or price often trades from high risk areas to, lower risk areas, to then either validating that structure or invalidating that structure. And I think the less experience you have, the more you get caught up in the impatience of just trying to catch a setup so that it doesn't leave without you. And so it becomes hard to wait for setups to become low risk. And sometimes it's not necessary to wait for setups to get to low risk. It depends on the context. But I think that's just helped me clearly define how to view risk in this sense, whereas quality is more about how clean the setup is. So it answers how well does this trade align with, my edge, process, and price behavior. And, giving an analogy, a high risk trade might look good, but, comes early or, during a news announcement or without full confirmation. And so there is a certain degree of risk there because the plan is not met fully on paper. Whereas a low quality trade might meet your rules on paper, but something just feels off, messy structure, weak reaction, unclear path, so unclear inducement, or, it induces like it's breaking the structure. And so you're not sure, where is this an inducement? Is the structure actually shifting? It's technically met your plan, but you take it stops you out. Or you take the trade, but looking at where your target area is, there's so many obstacles or POIs or key indicator areas en route to that TP that it just lowers the quality of the overall position playing out, because it's got all these corrective obstacles in the way. And so when I look at it, then obviously the best trades hypothetically to take are low risk, high quality, because like it says, it's got clean structure, strong confirmation, minimal exposure. The worst, high quality, high risk,